Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we made these videos. It's because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more and you need a push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and learn how to take control of your schedule and become a millionaire. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, change your calendar.
Most people have not taken control of their schedules. You wake up like an accident, start responding to other people's emergencies, and help other people build their dreams instead of you building yours. It's time for a change. You deserve better, and this video is gonna show you how. I think one of the biggest reasons why so many entrepreneurs don't take enough action is because when you get motivated, you don't do enough. You feel the motivation, you feel the boldness, you feel the confidence, but you're not taking enough action, you're not doing enough. I remember going to my first Tony Robbins event. This is before I knew Tony one-on-one, before I did the interview with him on my channel. I just went to see what would the event be like. I've seen so many different videos of so many different people, and I felt like, you know what? For most people going to their event, it'd probably be the same as just watching on YouTube. But for Tony, I felt, you know what? I think his event might be different. There's something that tells me by going to his event, it'll be different than what I just see on YouTube through the content. And so I went with my wife, I went with 3 people on my team, I paid for everybody to go out and went to our first Tony Robbins event. And at the end of the last day, if you've never been to a Tony Robbins event, it's on fire, you're motivated, you're jumping, you're dancing, you're hugging, you're high-fiving, you're breaking through limits, it's amazing. And by the end of the last day, you see everybody in the streets, you're pouring out, everybody's all pumped up and energized, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I remember one of the people that I brought with me, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do all this stuff. And he's like yelling and so fired up and excited. He's like, well, what are you doing, Evan? I'm like, I'm looking at my calendar. Because this is why so many people fall off. You go to an event like that and then you fall off because you're not making it consistent. Success is habits. So whenever you decide to make a change, you have to, at least for me, I look immediately to my calendar. So if my goal is now I want to be a big YouTuber, great. When am I going to make videos? It's got to be in the calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it's never going to happen. And so anytime you want to make a meaningful change, you have to default to thinking, what am I gonna put into my calendar? Because success is habits. And so it's great to be motivated. Maybe these videos do it for you. Maybe events, maybe books, podcasts, awesome. You're getting it from somewhere. You feel motivated, great. Show me in your calendar where you are spending the time to actually make the thing happen. Otherwise, you're just living off some fumes. You know, you get motivated for a day or two, feels amazing, and then you fall back down to normal. If you want that dream life, you want that next step for yourself, it's gotta come from changing your habits, changing what's in your calendar to make sure that what you say you want out of life, you're actually working towards making that happen. So how do you do it? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is chart your start. So this is your morning routine. What is your morning routine? And half of you probably already have a morning routine, half of you don't. For those of you who do, most of you don't have a great one. If you're watching this video and say, well, I already get that, or you have a morning routine. No, you don't. That's not great because you're not feeling bold and confident out of your morning routine. The point of a morning routine, this is the biggest thing, that if you have a morning routine, the number 1 thing you need to pay attention to is the feeling that you have when you are finished your morning routine. Whether it's a 5-minute morning routine, a 3-hour morning routine, I don't care. How do you feel at the end of the day? Not at the end of the day, at the end of your morning. How do you feel at the end of your morning routine? If you don't feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, ready to take on the world, believing in your big ideas, if you don't feel that at the end of your morning routine, then you did your morning routine wrong. It's wrong. And either you need to actually put something new in, maybe you're just totally missing something, or maybe you just need to have more intention behind the things that you put in there. Maybe that meditation or that prayer or that watching the video is actually the best thing for you, but you're being distracted. You're watching that video while you're making breakfast and trying to have a phone call and brushing your teeth and doing something else. You're not focused. So too many people are just checking the boxes of the morning routine. So yep, I did it, and you feel good, pat yourself on the shoulder, great, you did it, but you didn't do it. Because you didn't do what actually counts, which is having the meaning behind it. You need to make sure that at the end of your morning routine, you feel ready to take on the world. If not, then go back and fix it. And for those of you who don't have a morning routine, well, you need to do it. I mean, people wake up like an accident. Maybe not people watching this video on this channel, but most of America wakes up like an accident, just falls into their day, responding to other people's emergencies. I mean, don't make that you. They can't be you. You can't build your dream life by responding to other people's emergencies. I go quickly through 5 S's every morning. Sing, I put on a song because music makes you change your state. It's the fastest way I found to change your state. Sun, I go outside, get some fresh air and sun on my face. Even in the winter, just take the dogs out, get some cold air on my face and come back inside. Just that state change makes a difference, at least for me. Soar, I'll record a message for Instagram on my stories and I'll go live on Instagram helping you guys. That always makes me come alive, makes me soar. That's the most important one. And then sweat and scare. So I'll do a quick workout and then have a cold shower because it scares me. Those are my 5 S's every morning. Doesn't matter what I do so much. You, chart your start. What's your morning routine? Make sure you get that feeling every single day. Step number 2 is cure procrastination. Why do people procrastinate? One of the biggest things, you know what you want? You want this, you want to get this, you want to be here. Great. Here are the steps. It's not that hard to figure out the steps. Why do you procrastinate? Why? You're sitting there, even before making these videos, before making this video, I was procrastinating. Not too long, 5-10 minutes, but I still procrastinating. Why? I know I love it. I know it has an impact. It reaches people. Why procrastinate? If you're procrastinating, it's one of 2 reasons. 1, you don't want to do it. You don't like it. If you made me a chef, right? I would procrastinate all day long because I hate cooking. I don't want to do it, right? I don't want to be a chef. I don't want to, this is delicious. My wife Nina made this amazing food. I'm going to enjoy it. It smells amazing, but I don't want to cook that. I wouldn't do it. So that's a sign, like don't do it. Now, in the micro, on a daily basis, there's going to be lots of crap as an entrepreneur that you have to do that you don't want to do. But if it's happening consistently, every single day, and you don't love it, you're not gonna win. You're never gonna win doing work that you hate. You'll say you'll do whatever it takes, but you won't, because you don't love it. The number 1 trait of successful entrepreneurs is they love the thing that they're doing, the process of the work, not just the results. If you don't love the process, you're gonna lose. So if you're procrastinating, a big reason is because you don't love the work. Great, that's great self-awareness. Stop doing that thing, either immediately or as soon as possible to find the thing that you wanna do, because that's where you're gonna win. The second reason why people procrastinate is not because you don't love it, you love it, but you're afraid of it. Why did I procrastinate for 5 to 10 minutes before making this video? Because I'm afraid of it, because I want it to be good, because I'm worried about the judgment, because I'm afraid that I'm gonna disappoint people and it won't be a good video, because I want it to be my best one every single time I sit down to record, or at least stand up. I stand on a jumping trampoline when I make these, right? I want to be the best. And so that slows me down just a little bit. And so train yourself to catch it. If you find yourself procrastinating, it's because of one of those 2 reasons. Either you don't love it and you should stop as soon as possible, or you do love it and you're afraid and you have to push through. Either way, the answer is action, right? If you don't love it, the action is get out. If you do love it, the action is go do it because you're afraid. Great, go do it. The answer is always action. You need to cure your procrastination and stop wasting time. And step number 3 that I find really helps is having a big why and a little why. So big why is, why do you do what you do? What's the mission? What's the vision you have? What's driving you? I want to solve the world's biggest problem. I want to wake up every day and try to help 1 billion people, right? It's never going to happen. It's the big dream that will never happen, but it should be motivating, right? What is your big why? If it's just money, you're never going to win. Money needs to be in your top 5, just not number 1. So what is your number 1? What is your big why? And without that, it's really hard. Every entrepreneur that I profiled, the ones who've made it big, your heroes, they have a mission, they have a why. What is your why? That's the big why. The little why is on a day-to-day basis, because sometimes the big why is too big. Sometimes that big why is motivating and is amazing and I can't wait to do that, but sometimes the big why is too big. It's like, I don't think I can do that. I mean, that goal is never gonna happen. Why even bother? Why even try? It's too far away. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And it actually is so big that it deflates you. That can happen. So the little why is, well, I may not be able to solve the world's biggest problem, but I know I helped the people who left a comment on my video. I know I helped the people who left me an email. And so remembering that the work that you do is important matters. Waking up every day and knowing that the work that you're doing today matters, is meaningful, serves people somehow, right? Humans are built to serve. It's my new book. If you haven't pre-ordered it yet, it's in the description. Go pre-order. It's amazing. You're gonna love it, right? Humans are built to serve. And so knowing that the work you're doing is of service, reminding yourself, whether it's having a PowerPoint file or having letters on the wall or whatever it is, to know that what I do matters. I may not be anywhere close to hitting my big why, but I know that if I stop doing what I'm doing today, at least one person is gonna be disappointed. At least one person is gonna lose out because of work that I am not making, right? That's your little why. Remind yourself daily that the work that you do matters.
Rule number 2, build trust.
If you want to become a millionaire or influence a million people, you need to learn to build trust. This is where you can really win as an entrepreneur because people have a really hard time trusting big companies to do the right thing. So this is where you win. You win by not trying to be exactly like the big companies. You win by showing that you actually care and will do the right thing by the customer. So bringing it to a YouTube world as an example, I think everybody should be responding to all comments. One of the things that I believe in is every comment we try to get a response to. Every comment gets a response. Every comment gets a response. And at the beginning when you're doing a YouTube channel, it's easy. My first video on YouTube, it took me a year to get 3 comments. I made a video. Within 1 year, there were only 3 comments on that video. The first comment was my mom. Thank you, Mom. The second comment was my older sister. Thank you, Alexandra. And the third comment was from some random dude, a new star. Somebody discovered my channel, right? 1 year, 3 comments. Those are pretty easy to respond to, right? It's super easy in the early days when you're not getting comments. If you're getting a comment a day, a comment a week, a couple comments a day, it's easy to respond to. What happens when people scale is they stop responding to comments because they don't know how to scale the business. Because at the beginning, they're doing everything themselves and it doesn't take up a lot of time, but as you start getting more comments, it starts to take up more time. I get hundreds of comments every day on my YouTube channel. I can't respond to every single comment personally myself. If I could, if I did it, then I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't be making this video because I was spending all my time responding to people's comments, right? That's the process. But just like any other business, when you start a business, you're doing everything yourself. If you start selling flowers on the street, you're doing everything, right? You got to find the flowers, you got to sell the flowers, you got to distribute the flowers, you're doing everything. As you grow and as you get a flower store, then you bring on a team, right? And you have people who are selling flowers for you and opening the store for you and cleaning the store for you. You're still doing work, right? You're doing more important work. You can't do all of the tasks in the business at all times. If you're always doing everything, you're never going to scale. And so I believe that bigger YouTube channels should hire a team to respond to comments. I have an awesome guy on my team named Velko, who you'll see responding to a lot of comments, and he'll save the comments that I need to see. So if there's feedback or suggestions or improvements, I want to see them. If there's criticism, I want to see it. If it's just saying, thank you, Evan, for the video, amazing, I feel the love. I don't need to see all of those comments that come in, right? I'll sort through some of them, respond to some of them, but that's not gonna be the best use of my time every day because then I'm not making videos. And so make that equivalent for yourself. At the beginning, it's easy to show heart, easy to show care because you don't have that many customers, because maybe you only have 1 customer. And so you can show them the love. But as you scale and grow, how can you continue to do that? Whether it's you doing that most important element yourself because that's the thing that drives it, or you have people on your team that really show that love and support because you want to make sure the customer feels respected and appreciated. It's really easy to build trust in a one-on-one situation. It's harder as you build and scale your clients. And so you need to build and scale your culture alongside. So how can you better earn trust with your customers? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is delight a customer daily. Every day, just find a way to delight a customer. Every single day. If you have 1 customer, then that's pretty easy. Just find a way to help them every day. Or you have 10 customers, great, then cycle through and every 10 days you're helping another customer. And it doesn't have to be something massive and overwhelming. Just showing that you're thinking about them. Just showing that you care. Just showing that you've taken time out of your day to help them with something. And it could be something inside their business. It could be something in their personal life. It could be something that they told you about one of their hobbies. It could be a resource that you came across. For example, this isn't customer, it's more team, but same idea. Someone on my Toronto Dance Salsa team has Lyme's disease. And she's had Lyme disease, she got bitten by a tick, and she has Lyme disease, and so she struggled with it since she got it. And I put a alert on my calendar for Lyme disease, and so I get updates on what's happening. I get updates on new prevention, I get updates on conferences that are happening, I get updates on new treatments, I get updates on what people are doing and talking about. I get updates on Shania Twain and Avril Lavigne having Lyme disease. And anytime I find something new that I learned is new, then I give it to her. And I say, hey, here's this new thing that came out. There's a conference that's coming up in Eastern Canada. I said, hey, this is a conference just dedicated to Lyme disease. She said, wow, that's really cool. I was like, yeah, next time you should be speaking there, because she wants to add to awareness and prevention. Right? And so that builds trust, that builds the relationship, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. So think about what your customers love. Think about what their interests are. Think about why they bought from you and the problems that they're facing in their business. Think about how you can help them beyond just the problem that you got hired for. Right? You got hired for this one little tiny thing. They have one little problem that you are trying to help solve for them. Awesome. But they have lots of problems in their business, and they have even more problems in their life and interests. And so the more that you even just know about these things, and that you can start conversations around and provide value to, the more you're going to earn trust, the more you're going to get more business from them, the more you're going to get more referrals as well. So every day in your calendar, schedule it in, delight a customer. Step number 2 to building trust is tell your story. This is something I was so awkward and embarrassed about at the beginning, because I'm introverted and I felt like telling your story is too egotistical, and who wants to know my story, right? I'm telling the stories of all these other people, and I have done that many amazing things. You know, it's too much of an ego trip. I don't want to do it. Your story is the thing that gives you the advantage as an entrepreneur, right? Why you would buy from a big company is because of pricing, is because of branding, is because of advertising, is because you know them, because buying from, you know, Starbucks is probably going to be an experience. You know what they expect from Starbucks, right? So that the logo means something. Why should somebody buy from you instead of buying from Starbucks? If you look corporate and boring and you're trying to be a Starbucks, you're going to lose, because you'll just be a tiny version of Starbucks. What I want to see is that you care deeply about coffee. If you want to go up against Starbucks and you want to win my business, show me how much you care about coffee. Show how much you care about me. If I walked into your store and said, hey, I'll grab a large black coffee, great. If you ask me about what my business is, if you ask me about what I'm doing for the rest of the day, if you ask me which kind of coffee I want and explain the difference in the flavors, if you remember me the next time I come, if you think about what I'm saying and then pull up an article that is related or about that, if somebody in the store who's related to what I'm doing that you can introduce me to, right? Like all these little things, any little thing that can help bring value beyond just selling me the coffee that you have, right? A smile on the face, great service, awesome. I'm talking about the next level up, right? Giving them value and telling me your story. Why do you do this? You might care, like this is such a problem for entrepreneurs. You care so much. It's great. You care so much. You care more than the big guys do. You care way more than the big guys do, for sure. I believe it. But if you don't tell me, then I won't know. You have the heart, you don't have the marketing, because you're afraid to share your story. You have to share your story. You have to tell me why this is so important to you. You have to tell me why I mean so much to you, right? Personally, right? One-on-one, but also on your website with a video. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not a speaker, I suck in front of the camera. That's okay. If you're running a coffee shop, I don't need you to be great in front of the camera. Now, if you're a public speaker and you suck on camera, that's gonna be a problem, right? If you wanna be a motivational speaker and you can't do a video with your story, that's a problem. But if you're a coffee shop owner, if you're a tech company, I'm not expecting a fantastic public speaker. I wanna see your heart. I wanna know why you did this business. You should make a video. You need to make a video. Why you started this business and why you care so much, and put that on your website and expect it to suck. Just have clean audio. I expect it to be just an okay, production video. Don't go and hire somebody for $10,000 to make this video. Do it yourself from your phone. Just show me how much you care. Tell me why you started this business and why you care so much. And step number 3 is give the baker's dozen. This is where you're always trying to find one extra thing that you can give in. So baker's dozen comes from the donut world. At least, I don't know if this is a worldwide thing or just a Canada thing, where if you go to some donut stores and buy a dozen, they'll give you what's called the baker's dozen, and they'll give you a 13th donut for free. So you get 13 donuts when you buy 12. That's the baker's dozen. So what can you do in your world that's the equivalent? How can you help your customers in the same way, giving them more than what they expected, right? They asked for this, they got this. That's not enough, right? I mean, if they ask for this and you give them something way off, expect negative reviews, expect hate, expect, negativity on Twitter, expect them never to come back and to tell 50 of their friends about how much you suck. Great. That's if you don't deliver. If you just deliver what they asked for, It's okay, meh. They don't hate you, they don't love you, you did what they asked. You're not creating a negative or positive experience, you just did what they asked. You have to go above and beyond. You have to give the baker's dozen. You gotta find a reason for them to go off and tell their friends and talk positively about you. And this works even when you underperformed or had a problem. For example, I have a YouTube course that's out right now teaching people how to get their first 1 million subscribers on YouTube, right? And somebody just bought and had a problem getting into the private Facebook group. And so people who buy the program get into the private Facebook group. You're there with me. I'm coaching in the group once a month. And it's also just a nice way to connect with other ambitious creators who want to build a business off of YouTube. And he couldn't get in. He's clicking the link, it's not working, clicking the link, it's not working. And I'm confused because I don't know why it's not working. And so I made a quick little screen video to say, hey, here's what happens when I click it. I clicked here and up comes Facebook and it's working. And then I click here and it's working. But it wasn't working for him. So I don't know what the problem is, but I just want to show you that it's working on my end. Everybody else is in, but I want to solve this for you. And I copied my assistant in on the email to make sure we find a way to get him added to the group. Great. Sent. He's probably not expecting a video, but already that's, baker's dozen. But that's not enough, right? Like, forget baker's dozen. Baker's 15. When they ask for 12, you give them 15. So then what I did was I did a quick channel audit of his videos. So I loaded another screen record. I went to his YouTube channel and said, hey man, again, I feel really bad that you weren't able to get into the Facebook group. We're working our way. We're gonna make sure we get you in this week. I want to give you some quick advice for your YouTube channel. And I loaded up his channel page and I went through his videos and I gave him 3 big ideas that I think would help. Like, if you did these 3 things, it will help you. And people pay me a lot for this kind of advice. And so I gave it to him for free as a bonus. And he wrote back, he's overwhelmed, said, thank you so much, unexpected. Looking forward to being a part of the course, I really appreciate you. Didn't take me that long to do, right? That recording, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes. And I made his day. From a problematic situation. Now, he wasn't writing in upset and say, refund me or rip off. He wasn't saying anything like that. But he has a slightly bad taste in his mouth that the experience with my company wasn't what he expected. And hopefully we're giving him that plus more, right? The baker's dozen. Apply it to your business.
Rule number 3, work hard.
Hard work is your ticket in. No matter where you come from, what you look like, what your skills are, hard work is always the ticket in. The odds might be against you. Awesome. Now what? Quit on your dreams or keep working hard? How you answer that question will change your life. So I have an agent in New York, and when I first started the agency, I almost didn't get in. I didn't get in because I'm a weird case for them. My agent now, he looked at me back then, and this must have been 6 or 7 years ago by now, and he said, Evan, I love your message. The problem is you're not a very good communicator. And that hurt at the beginning because I had already done some speaking gigs. I'd already been making videos for 3 or 4 years. I'd had hundreds, if not 1,000 videos already under my belt, and here he is saying that I suck at communicating. And he said the people that he typically works with are people who are already in media, who have tons of experience, who are great in front of the camera. They need help refining their message. He said, for you, I love your message. You've got a great message. You just suck at being able to communicate it. I'm like, oh, wow. And so, okay, great. Well, where do we go from here? And he said, I'm gonna take a flyer on you. I don't normally do this. I'm gonna take a flyer on you and see where you go. And I didn't want to waste my opportunity. I didn't even know that you could get an agent as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a speaker. I mean, I guess I heard of speaking houses, but an agent, I thought more entertainment or sports, not for business. So I didn't want to lose this opportunity. I didn't want to regret not giving it my best. And so I said, okay, great. Tell me what I need to do. I'm the worst right now. Awesome. I don't have the skills that everybody else here has. How can I get better? What do I need to do? Tell me. And he said, okay, so your first challenge is I need you to make a bio video. I need you to tell your story, a foundation story video, make it 20 to 40 minutes long and record it, and I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna give you my feedback on it. Okay, great. So I recorded it the next day and it was in the morning. I recorded it, sent it to him. He gave me feedback, and then at lunch I recorded it again. He gave me feedback, I recorded it again in the evening. And I did it 30 to 40 times. That's a lot. Over the course of however many days, 10 to 12 days, I guess. I recorded the video over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every time he gave me feedback, I do it again. Feedback, do it again. And I got better. And I got better. And over the course of a couple months, when I was making 3 videos a day, practicing, sucking, but just practicing and trying to get better and listening to feedback and trying to improve, I quickly became the best case at the agency. I quickly became the #1 person from views, from subscribers, from best practices. I copy what Evan's doing. Now I'm being brought on to help them with their clients and train some of them on how they can get better on YouTube and build their brand. From being the worst, from being the guy who almost didn't get in. Because the people who were joining them, one, maybe had bigger egos, but also were having a hard time finding the time to make a video a week. And if they're not making a video a week or having a hard time doing it, and I'm making 3 a day, even if I suck, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna outpace just because I'm willing to work, just because I'm putting in the effort. You might not have the skills, you might not have the talent, you might not have the looks, you might not have what you think you need to have. How does an introvert build a huge audience and spread a huge message and be famous on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, I'm working on it. Join me on my journey. We'll figure it out together. That was my agent's concern when I first got started, and I'm breaking the mold and doing things in a way that haven't been done. And you can do the same thing through hard work. Hard work doesn't guarantee your success. There's a lot of people who work really hard and never win. A lot of people who work 12-hour days and are doing minimum wage jobs. They're working hard and they don't win. You have to work hard and you have to work smart, but it's not one or the other. The people who were in the agency were working smart, but we're making 1 video a week. I was working less smart, but making 3 videos a day. So I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get smarter, I'm gonna make it faster, I'm gonna show you what I can do. Hard work is always your ticket in, and one of the biggest problems is people just aren't working either hard enough or smart enough. You just want it too soon, and you can be impatient and it's amazing, but better than being impatient with the results is being impatient with yourself. Most people are impatient with the results. Like, it's not coming fast enough. Like, where are my subscribers? Where are my views? It's not happening. My first video took me a year to get 3 comments. And the first comment was my mom, the second was my sister, and the third was some random dude, right? A year to get 3 comments, and 2 of the people were my family. You're impatient with the results. What you should be is impatient with yourself. When you're not getting results, when it's not happening, audit yourself. Are you putting in the work? Are you doing enough work? Are you working smart enough? Are you applying the right strategies? Get more frustrated with yourself and your effort more than that the results aren't there. Because if you woke up every day and did that equivalent of making 3 videos a day when other people are making 1 video a week, you will eventually win. It might be slower than you'd like, but it's always slower than you'd like, but you will eventually win because hard work is always your ticket in. So what's the process? I'm gonna give you 3 steps to follow that I think will help. Step number 1 is have a mission. I'm actually not a big believer in having 10-year goals. I think to know what you think you're capable of in a 10-year window is ridiculous. Think about who you were 10 years ago. There's no way that person can predict where you are right now. Not if you're growing, not if you're having any kind of success, not if you've evolved as a human. The goals you had 10 years ago, I just started my YouTube channel 10 years ago, right? 29 years old, 10 years ago. I was just starting my YouTube channel. There's no way I could predict where I would be here. The goals that I would set for myself when I was 29 would be totally off compared to where I'm at right now. It's great. I think you can have a 10-year goal. I think you can hit it. The problem is I think that's small compared to what you're capable of. So instead you have a mission, something that motivates you, something that drives you, something you want to work hard at every day, something so big that you will never accomplish in your lifetime, and yet you wake up every day and want to take another spoon from the ocean, right? Every day you're taking another spoonful out of the ocean. You're never gonna take all the water out, but you took another spoonful and another spoonful and another spoonful. So what's your mission? More important than having a 10-year goal, what is the mission that you are on, that you have to see birth into the world because it matters, because you are built to serve, because you wanna have an impact on the people around you? Number 2 is have play bigger triggers. I'm a big believer in play bigger triggers, which means you have things in your environment that trigger you for success. So the Doritos bag here, no, I'm not sponsored by Doritos. It's a play bigger trigger. I want to eat these all day long. It's a reminder to myself that I'm stronger than the Doritos because damn the Doritos. These pictures all mean something to me. They all mean something. They may not mean anything to you, but they mean something to me. The plaques down there from my YouTube awards mean something. The cast that you can't really see, but what I wore on my neck for 60 days when I broke my neck in 2 spots on my first trip, on my first tour this year. It means something to me. My first camera is down there too that I used for 2 years. All these things, it reminds me of who I am. It reminds me that I'm stronger than I am right now in the moment, that I'm capable of great things, that I finished my tour with a broken neck in 2 spots and still went to another 30 days on the road. That's crazy, right? It's hard to imagine that I did that. And so that's how I remind myself that I did that. I have the cast there. And so whatever makes you feel bold, whatever makes you feel confident, whatever makes you feel alive, put it in your environment, your physical environment, your actual office where you're doing the work, but also your virtual environment. What's on the background of your cell phone? What's on the background of your desktop, right? What do you have? You're looking at it multiple times a day. Does it fill you up? So having a play bigger trigger for yourself. What do you need to have in your environment? Because you only set it up once, right? I only set this up once. I only put this here once. And every day I walk in and it triggers me for success every single day. And step number 3 is pass the pillow test. So I have a pillow test where if you have a pillow, right? Before you hit the bed, before you hit your pillow, don't hit the pillow. Before you hit your head on the pillow, if you're very angry, you can hit the pillow. Before you hit your head on the pillow, ask yourself, are you proud of the effort that you put in tonight? That's the pillow test. If you woke up every day and you were proud of the effort, even if you didn't get the results, but you were proud of the effort that you put in, that today I did something that made me feel proud, that was outside my comfort zone, that I wanted to quit, but I kept going regardless, that I did another take, another video, even though it didn't get the result, I'm proud of what I did today. If you woke up every day and did that and you're proud of your effort, you're gonna create amazing things. Most people aren't proud of their effort. Most people will do just enough of what the client wants, or just enough of what you think your audience wants, your customers want, or just enough. You do just enough. You have to do more than just enough. Tie your self-worth to the effort you're putting in instead of the results. Ask yourself tonight, are you proud of the effort that you put in? I'm proud of the effort I'm putting in on this video. Do I get a result? Do you love it? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe it's the worst video of all time for you. That's on me. I need to get better. I'm working on it every single day. I'm trying, but I'm proud of the effort that I'm putting. I'm trying. And if you woke up every day and you were trying your hardest, chasing down the goals and the life that you want, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it because you're unstoppable, but only if you're putting in your maximum effort every day and you pass the pillow test.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below. And you have an overview of what your book is all about, and you write into them. There's usually a general email address so you can connect with them.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger, and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
Rule number 4, have a mission.
When you have a mission, you're not for sale. When you know what you're doing, when you have a deep purpose and you are off chasing it, you are not for sale. Money is really important, but if you look at the successful people, look at anybody who look up to, who you respect, who's your hero, who's your greatest, most famous entrepreneur of all time that you love and you would love to emulate. Money was not the most important thing to them. There was something above money. Now, money is important. Money is important for every business. Money is important for every organization. If you're a charity, money is still important, but it's not number one. And you got to figure out what you would put ahead of your money. So many people are just chasing money, 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 money. And I get it. It's important. I had a woman who was at my seminar last night here in Indianapolis who she has 8 different side hustles. And now she's trying to get into real estate to try to make money. And the problem is none of it's purpose driven. And none of it is actually making her enough money. She's making just enough, just little tiny bits from these side hustles that she can barely survive. It's the wrong path. The people who only prioritize money never make money. They never make the real money. You make just enough to survive because your will to win is for sale. You've got to figure out what your purpose is. You got to figure out who you are. You got to figure out what the mission is that you're on. When you do that, then no matter how much money is being thrown at you, you're not going to accept it because you're on a deep purpose for life. I love helping entrepreneurs. You can't throw money at me to say, stop doing it. This fills me up for life. So great, find your purpose. Wow, amazing. How do you do that? What are the steps? What's the process? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that will help. you do this. If you're lost, if you're trying to figure out how to make money, you're trying to figure out where to go next in your life, this is the path. Figure this out, you are set for life. It's called the Higher Purpose Planner. You're gonna figure out your who, your why, and your how. Higher Purpose Planner, step one, your who. What's your one word? What's your most important core value? What do you stand for? Every human being has a single most important core value. You figure that out, you are set for life. So mine is believe. I stand on my rock, believe. You can't shake me from it. I'm not swayed by your opinions or your values. The problem is people don't know what they stand for, and so you're being pulled in all these different directions. Well, he wants me to do that, and she wants me to do this, and this person wants me to do that. You're pulled all over the place. You're constantly judging yourself, and you worry about the opinions of other people so much because you don't know what you stand for. So you have to figure out what your one word, most important core value is. You might know it just coming off the top of your head. If not, I have a great book you can go through and it will help you. Step number 2 is your why. Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose comes from your pain. Think about the most painful moment in your life of all time. What was it? What did you struggle with? What's the most painful moment in your life? Your purpose is now to help other people who are currently going through that pain. That's your purpose for life. It will fill you up for life. So I love believing in people. Why entrepreneurs? Because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, because I was making $300 a month, because I was too embarrassed and ashamed to tell my friends that I wasn't making any money, because I had to eat the same bean salad for lunch every day because it was cheap and it filled me up, because when I got a new client in my business, we went to McDonald's and we celebrated with a large French fries between the 3 of us because we couldn't afford a meal. Like, I get it. I love entrepreneurs, but I love the startups more than anything because that's the pain. I love helping an entrepreneur go from 1 million to 10. I love helping them figure that out. But deep down, it's the startup. I don't want people to have to suffer as much as I suffered. I don't want people to have to struggle as much as I struggled. That's my why. And so you think about the most painful moment in your life. Think about the time that you never want to have to repeat, the time that you would never wish upon anybody in your family or even your worst enemy to have to go through. That struggle, that thing that we want to bury in the past is actually the key to the future for you. And it's sometimes hard to access because we're optimistic as entrepreneurs. We're looking forward to a brighter future. We don't want to live in the pain and the negativity. It doesn't mean you live there, but you use it as a fuel source to help get you to where you want to be and have a huge impact. Your purpose will be helping those people who are currently facing the struggle, the pain, the suffering that you went through. If you can help take somebody and lift them out of that pain, it'll fill you up to a degree I can't even explain. That's your purpose. Last point is the how. So the who, the why, the how. The how is figuring out how you're going to actually go off and do it. There's a lot of ways that I could be believing in entrepreneurs, tons of ways. Not all of them I'd love to do, not the process. The most successful people in the world enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the action, not just the result. If you're just chasing the result, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be ultimately successful. You have to enjoy the process of doing the thing. So there's a lot of ways I could be believing in entrepreneurs. If you're trying to set up a new website, I could come over and help you and figure out how to put a website together pretty quickly. I don't like doing that though. I don't want to do that. I like making videos. I like doing presentations. I like doing seminars. I like creating courses. This is the work that I love doing. I love it. I love it. So make a list of 10, 20, 30, all the ones that you can think of, the ways that you have helped people and you enjoy helping people. Humans are built to serve. You will always love helping people. You have to. Even if you're introverted and you don't want to be around people all the time, you will still get filled up by helping others. You are meant to serve and help other people. If you're not happy, you're not serving enough. Great. Make a list of all the ways that you have served and helped other people. And then circle the ones that you enjoyed the process of, not just the result of helping them. Then you're set. You're set for life. You know your who. You know what your one word, most important core value is. You know your why. Your purpose comes from your pain. You're going to want to serve those people for life. And then 3, you know your how. You know the process. You know the process that you love, that you fell in love with, that if you did every single day, it would fill you up and bring you so much joy. That's how you do it. That's how you make sure your will is not for sale. Most people's will is for sale because they don't know what they're about. They're not mission driven. They don't know what their purpose is. You want to be. Everybody wants to. Everybody knows that there's something greater for you. You know there's a purpose for you. Most people just don't know what it is because we don't teach this stuff. We don't train this stuff. And I want to change it. So figure out your higher purpose. Follow those 3 steps and change your life.
Rule number 5, climb forever.
Why do you get depressed after you accomplish a goal? You celebrate a goal for 5 minutes and then you're sad. Why is that? It's because you had the wrong goal. Your goal should not be to climb to the top of the mountain because the only spot left is to go down. Your goal should be to climb forever. You never stop climbing. You're on a mission. You're trying to save the world. Stop asking, when can I stop? You don't. You don't want to. You want to climb forever. You don't want to stop. Not now, not ever, because you are on a mission. So one of my biggest fears is the aging rock star. I look at some of these rock stars who made it big when they're in their 20s or 30s, and then as they get into their 40s, 50s, sometimes even 60s, they're still playing, which is great. They're still on tour, which is awesome. But what are the songs that they're singing? The songs that they're singing are still the ones that they came up with when they're in their 20s or 30s. And I can't imagine that. I can't imagine coming up with a video in my 20s. Was I on YouTube in my 20s? I was, 10 years ago, right? April 2009, I was on 9? Wow, I'm getting old. April 2009, yes. April 2009, so I was 29 when my first video went up. Great. If I'm still showing that video all the time, if I'm still showing my 40th video, then that's the one that hit, I just feel like it's such a letdown. I mean, it's great that you're still on tour. It's great that you're still being asked to get on stage, but to sing the same songs over and over and over again, for me, I'm not trying to judge or say that they suck. For me, I'm terrified of that. I don't want that to be me. I don't want to think of the video that I made last year is my best video ever, and all I'm gonna do for the rest of my life is just play that same video over and over and over and over again. I want to climb forever. I want to challenge myself to come up with new stories each time, whenever possible, making these kind of videos. I want to always push the envelope. I want to always discover new formats. I want to always look at splitting up my channel or bringing them all back together or launching a course. Always something new. Always climbing. I don't see it as this mountaintop. There is no mountaintop. You're on the staircase and you're climbing forever and you're never going to get to the top. You don't want to get to the top. That's sadness. That's despair. When you've accomplished everything there is to accomplish, you hate your life. That sucks. You celebrate. This is what happens for high achievers, right? You celebrate for 5 minutes, like, man, we did it. And then it's a big letdown. When I crossed 2 million subscribers on my YouTube channel, 1 million subscribers, I didn't want to celebrate. Like, because the day-to-day is a celebration. Because this is celebration. This, making this video right here. This is my celebration moment. The process, the actual part of climbing, right? I'm trying to get better every single time. 6,000 videos later, still going. When do I stop? I don't. I want to make 6 million videos, right? My goal of hitting 1 billion entrepreneurs, I don't actually want to hit 1 billion entrepreneurs. I want to have a goal so big that I never do it. And so I don't want to be that aging rock star. I hope that when I'm 95 years old, I may, not have my mind totally there. My body might be giving up on me, but I'm hoping that I'm still trying to push the envelope, still trying to do more, do my best. And maybe if I get lazy, complacent, slow, if I start complaining, you catch me complaining when I'm 95 years old, show me this video back. Show me this video and say, look, you've become what you said you didn't want to become, right? Hold me accountable. I think as soon as you stop growing, you're dying. And I think that's why so many people are unhappy, because they've actually stopped growing a long time ago. And so don't be the aging rock star. I don't want it for me. I don't want it for you either. So how do you do it? How do you stay active? How do you stay growing? I'm going to give you 3 steps that I think will help. Step number 1 is have an environment of excellence. How do you get out of complacency? Have an environment of excellence, right? Think about the people that are around you, your physical environment. This, right? I walk into this. These all mean something to me, right? This bag of Doritos means something to me. No, they're not a sponsor. These people all mean something to me. They may not mean anything to you, but they mean something to me. What's on the background of your cell phone? What's on the background of your desktop, right? Your environment, you set it up once. A physical environment, you set it up once. And then it reminds you every day when you walk into it that I need to continue to stamp out complacency, that I need to, no matter how big a game I think I'm playing, I'm sitting here working, right? And I got Steve Jobs eyeing me down right here. I got A.P. Giannini eyeing me down right here. Every time I walk away, I got my parents looking at me, right? Howard Schultz, Kanye West. It's impossible to stay complacent because these people are staring me down. Right? Think about the people in your life, the people who you're hanging out with. A lot of the friends that you have often will let you off the hook because they have lower standards than you do. They'll say, it's okay, don't go off and do that thing. It's okay, you deserve a break, you deserve a rest. And maybe you do. Maybe you're too tired, right? There are points, like when I broke my neck, I couldn't do some things. That's okay, right? There are times you need to be gentle on yourself. But more often than not, you actually need to be hard on yourself. You need to push yourself forward. When your friends with lower standards than you let you off the hook and you want to say yes to it, and you do, you've let yourself down. You need an environment of excellence. Physical environment, the media you consume, the videos you watch, the people around you. That's how you stop staying complacent. Step number 2 is chart your start. So have a good morning routine. No matter how energetic I am right now, right? Like, this is amazing. I'm so excited making videos for you guys. I'm pumped up. This legit feeling of warmth, energy, gratitude to be here making this video for you. I love it. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna be tired, right? I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. I gotta get my stuff done. I gotta, you know, I'm tired. I got stuff in my eyes. I got lines in my face. I'm tired. What you do in the morning sets you up for the whole day. And so the most important part of your morning routine is the thing that makes you soar. You might have a morning routine. You might be saying, well, Evan, I already have a morning routine. Awesome, great. Chances are it's actually not working for you. Chances are the morning routine that you have right now is barely working for you. It's the crumbs of what should be working for you. The most important thing out of a morning routine is, how do you feel at the end of it? How do you feel? Do you feel bold, unstoppable, energetic, confident, ready to take on the day? And if it's a yes, then you did a good job. If it's a no, then you need to go back and do it again. Or you need to change something dramatically in your routine. Too many people just check the box. You're checking the box. I watched the video, yes, I checked the box, but I was doing it while eating breakfast and washing dishes and getting my kids ready for school and whatever else you were doing. So you weren't actually paying attention. You didn't get the feeling. And so just checking the box isn't enough. You can maybe even shorten your morning routine. Maybe you cut it in half. But if you get the feeling attached to it, you feel bold, powerful, confident, unstoppable every morning, your life is gonna change. If you wake up every day and do the thing that makes you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, confident every morning, your life will change, will not be the same 1 year from today, I promise you. Chart your start, change your morning routine. And number 3 is, tell me I suck. This is one of the favorite things that I love doing. Whenever there's somebody that I want to learn from, whenever there's somebody that I think has more knowledge than me who could teach me something, I'll always go and say, tell me why I suck. Tell me why I suck. Even if I feel like I'm great at it, great, tell me why I suck. When I'm looking at my YouTube channel, anytime I go to a YouTube event, people who might have feedback for me, I say, tell me why my channel sucks. Just like, destroy it. Why do I suck? And no, it's not because I love punishment. It's because I want to give permission to people to be honest. You're talking about avoiding complacency. This is how you do it. You need honest feedback on how to get better. And so people are afraid of telling you the truth. No matter what kind of permission you're trying to set up for them, most of the time people are still afraid because they're not sure how you're going to react to it. Maybe your closest friends, they'll tell you, but people who you look up to, people who are experts, people who might be able to help you, if they don't know you super well, will be afraid to give you honest feedback because they don't want to hurt your feelings, because they don't know who you are. But if you lead with, tell me why I suck at this, why I suck, right? What that does is gives them permission to be honest, because chances are, here's what they're going to say. Well, you don't suck. I mean, you're doing a great job. But you know what? Here are 3 things that I think you could really work on. And chances are, if you didn't lead with something like that, to say, tell me why I suck, they would only tell you 1 thing out of the 3. And you're probably missing those 2. The 2 that they're afraid to tell you are the 2 that you actually need to hear. So whenever you find somebody who has something to teach you, who's gonna push you outside your comfort zone, who's gonna make you grow and stop being complacent, start that sentence with them with, tell me why I suck.
Rule number 6, lose the scarcity mindset.
You are staying small because you're afraid. You're afraid of the worst case scenario coming true, losing, having no money, and being embarrassed. But you know you're capable of more. You know the way that you're going about doing things right now is nothing compared to what you're capable of. Unless you lose that scarcity mindset, you're always gonna stay small, knowing that you are capable of more. Today I'm gonna show you how. So one of the easiest ways to get out of your scarcity mindset is to go from idea to action. As soon as you get an idea, you do something about it. And sometimes that idea, often that idea is gonna be too big, too scary, too crazy. You can't do it. Who are you to do this? You don't have the money, resources, time, connections, energy, right? All of that, all of the excuses that come into your head. I like to teach myself that as soon as I get an idea, I go do something. It may not work, but you have genius ideas, trust them, go do something. So this is great. This is a grant video because when I did my tour in 2019, January to April, we hit 23 different cities over 90 days. And at the beginning, I was trying to find different sponsors that would help out with travel, accommodations, because it was me, Nina, my film guy, Danny, and all of our gear. It was mostly Danny's gear. Lighting, and we had speakers and camera gear and all of this stuff. And we ended up renting a Suburban and driving across America. But before doing that, I emailed Grant. And I said, hey, Grant, can I use your plane for 90 days for my tour? And to his credit, the email that he wrote back was, what's the upside? Not, no, not forget about it, not, do you know how much it costs? And just jet fuel and you know, my pilot, and then I can't use my plane for 3 months. He said, what's the upside? I said, well, listen, I'm gonna let everybody in my audience know about you. And listen, we didn't get a deal. We didn't make it happen. But it's that idea of going from idea to action, right? And I still do a lot with Grant, right? Making this video, helping promote all the stuff that he's up to. We're looking at doing something together when I go to Miami next. And so that one exchange didn't ruin the relationship. And I'm happy to share it publicly. Maybe that's embarrassing for some people, right? But the idea of trusting your ideas. You get an idea, you go do something. It may be too big, it may be scary. You might have people say no, even if the most likely answer is no, right? The most likely answer might be no. The most likely answer to me asking Grant that question is no, right? It's a no. But if I don't ask, it's a no 100%. Don't take the no away from somebody else. It might be 99.999% no, but there's still a little chance. Maybe there's a yes somewhere in there. Trust your ideas. Do something. I did and still continue to do. And that's how you escape scarcity mindset. That's how you escape playing small and actually go down and chase the life that you want to live. So let's get more specific. I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is idea to action. So as soon as you get that idea, you don't judge it. You don't think about it. You don't say, why me? You just go and you do something. Find the smallest possible way to just get started, right? So you just trust that the idea came to you. I believe that ideas flow through you. You got that idea for a reason. Why are you thinking about it? Don't worry about why you're thinking about it. Just go do something about it. Find the smallest possible way to just go do something about it. You are a genius, therefore you come up with genius ideas. Not all of them work out. Maybe the timing was wrong, maybe the execution was wrong, but it's still a great idea because you came up with it. Therefore, it is a great idea and you have to go do something about it. So trust your ideas and go from idea to action. Step number 2 is what I call the 2% difference. Here's what happens. Most of the time when people come up with an idea, you default into planning mode. Planning, strategy, thinking, researching, and then you wake up the next day and you're back to square one. You're back to normal. Like the energy that you got, the boldness, the courage that you had is gone because you woke up the next day. So you've wasted your best time, your best momentum, that peak in energy on planning. Where what I want you to do is use that for action. So the 2% difference is instead of planning to get to 100%, which is what most of us will do, you come up with an idea and then plan how it's gonna happen 100% to finish line. You don't even know what the finish line is gonna be. Stop thinking you even know where it's gonna be. Instead of worrying about the 100%, focus on the first 2%. The first 2%. I have this idea. What can I do right now that will get me 2% of the way, right? You wanna make a YouTube video? Great, pull out your phone, start recording. That's 2%. You wanna remind yourself to breathe. This is one thing we have on our door. Every time I leave the door, every time I leave my condo, there's a sign that says breathe, right? Because I wanna remind myself to breathe. Practice my Wim Hof. Take 30 breaths in and out as I walk outside my condo every time. I put that there as a play bigger trigger for myself. But it's easy to think, well, if I'm gonna put a sign on my door, then I need it to be a certain size and I need to be the perfect picture and I need it to be framed, and you make it bigger and then you don't do anything. That's the biggest problem, you just don't have momentum. You're not doing enough. And so step number 1, the 2% difference is I took out a sticky note and I just wrote breathe and I stuck it on my door. And it's a reminder every day to breathe. It doesn't mean that you can't go back and plan. It doesn't mean that you can't replace it with something nicer, bigger, better. Yes, of course, planning has its role, but not as a first step. Your first step is action. If your first step is planning, you're losing. If your first step is planning, that's why you're a perfectionist. That's why you don't have momentum happening against your ideas. Your first step, idea, into the first 2%. And then step number 3 is tie your self-worth to the effort, not the result. This is where, again, so many entrepreneurs will fail, is because you tied your self-worth to the outcome of you accomplishing that thing. If you woke up and you only did things that you knew you were gonna win at, you're gonna play small for life. You're only doing things inside your comfort zone because you know you're gonna win at them, right? Or a very high degree chance you're gonna win. If that's all you ever take on, you play small for life. But if you're going outside your comfort zone, taking on new projects, growing as a human, learning, getting better, taking on new challenges that are bigger and beyond you, most days you're actually gonna wake up and fail because you're doing something new. But if you woke up every day and were proud of the effort you were putting in, you're proud of yourself for the effort. You're putting in your max effort. You're trying to make the best video you can. You're trying to make the best product or service you can. You're proud of yourself for the effort. Every single day, you're gonna create amazing things. Way beyond what you thought you're capable of. And way more than the person who just sits inside their bubble doing things that they know they're gonna win at. Tie your self-worth to the effort, not the results.
Rule number 7, the last one before our very special bonus clip, learn from successful people.
Who you spend time with is who you become. It's why I created this channel, so you and I can hang out with people like Warren Buffett. You may never meet Warren Buffett, but you can learn from him, you can be inspired by him, and you can change your life for the better by consuming this kind of content. I love modeling success because I learned from Bill Gates. Bill Gates was the first guy that I modeled success from. I had a software company, was struggling, was making no money. I told my partner I quit. And then I asked myself, somebody has done this before. I can't be the first person to try to build a software company. It can't be this hard. Please, somebody's figured this out. And the only person who came to my mind was Bill Gates, who started Microsoft. I hadn't been really that interested in reading. I hadn't been that interested in studying success. I was just trying to come up with ideas myself. And I was desperate, right? I told my partner I quit. I was desperate. I was at rock bottom. And so I said, somebody's figured this out. I can only think of Bill Gates and Microsoft. And so I studied his company and how he started, the 0 to 1, right? How did he make his first million? What did he do? And it was through partnerships. And I applied that strategy to my business. And shortly after, I had my first deal for $13,500. And I felt like I won the lottery. And after that, I had a pattern to use over and over and over again. And since then, it's been 20 years now of sharing that with you guys. It's been, for me, constant learning. It's the name of my channel, Modeling Success. It's why I have all these people behind me on the wall. It's why I make these videos every day. It's why I love learning from people like Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs and Kanye and Oprah and all these people, because they can shift you, because they shifted me. And the thing that they give you, at least for me, they give me one, the inspiration, the motivation, the idea that look at what they started with. If they could start from there and end up at this new place, why can't I? You already have more resources than Bill Gates did when he started. You have more resources than Kanye did, than Steve Jobs did when they started. You're in a better position than they were. And they went off to create amazing things. Go study Oprah's story and tell me that you're in a worse position than Oprah was when she started. You're not. You're not. And so it's inspiration. The other part is tactics, ideas, specific strategies, right? Bill Gates doing partnerships, through distributorships, all of these things, learning from that and saying, hey, I can apply that to my business. Maybe not 100%, but it gets you 80% of the way. And instead of you figuring out the entire solution, you just have to figure out how to bridge that 20% gap at the end. It's much easier. It can lead to your success. And so I made it a habit, a daily habit of being around success that inspires me, that makes me want to do better. And I hope you do the same. I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is identify what do you want to be world class at. I start these videos by saying you have Michael Jordan level talent at something. That's not just a throwaway line. I believe it. You're world class. You're the greatest in the world at something. What is it? What do you want to get better at? And if you don't know, at least pick something that you want to learn more about, that you want to explore more in. Like, what is the thing that you want to improve at? Be clear, be specific, because chances are the thing that you are the best in the world at is not what your parents did. It's not what your friends are doing. It's not what your husband and wife is doing. It's not what's happening in your community right now. It's gonna be a little different, and that's okay, because you're different. You're weird. You're a strange duck. That's what it means to be world class. People who are world class at things are not normal. You're not normal. You're amazing. You're the best. Right? So what is the thing that you want to be world class at? Step number 2 is identify 3 people who are doing it. Who are 3 people who are world class, who are crushing it, who are among the best? If you want to be Michael Jordan level talent in basketball, go study Michael Jordan, right? Who do you want to be like? And not exactly, right? You're not going to have the same game as Michael Jordan, but take one thing from him. Take how to dunk from him. Take his jump shot from him. Take his defense from him. Take the thing that you love the most from him and study it and learn it and apply it, right? 3 people who are at the top of their game in your field, in your industry, and how can you learn from them so that it can shortcut your path? Because again, chances are your parents can't teach you how to do it, and your friends and your husband and your wife and the people around you, they can't teach you how to be world-class at the thing that you want to be great at because they're not world-class at it. So their opinions are meaningless. It's worthless because they're not doing the thing that you want to do, right? They might have love, compassion, they might have fear, concern, worry, anxiety for you, but their advice is meaningless to you because they haven't done the thing that you want to do. So find those 3 people who are world-class at it. And then step number 3 is create your own 254. So the 254 series was something that I birthed, that I talked about at the beginning of this video, where if you wanted self-love and confidence, I created a 254 around it, where every day for 254 days, I send you a video around self-love or confidence to help you feel more self-love or confidence. If you want to have more confidence, you should sign up for the 254. It's free, and every day you get a video that talks about you getting more confident and shows people who are confident. It'll force to pull you up. Now, I've created a whole bunch of 254s that are free. Maybe you don't like any of mine, and that's okay. Create one for yourself. If you want to learn from Warren Buffett and how to be an amazing investor, then create your own 254, because watching one video of Warren Buffett, it's not going to be enough. Reading one book is not going to be enough, because while you're reading the book, you're going to feel like you're going to be inspired, motivated. You're going to be Warren Buffett. It's like, yes, this is what I want to do. And then when the book is done, you put it down, you put it on the shelf, you move on to something else, you start to see that motivation start to fall. 254 is because it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. The minimum is 18 days, the average is 60 days, but the worst case is 254 days. And so it's that consistent action that most people are missing. So you can read a book about Warren Buffett and you lose the motivation a week later. You need to create your own. Every single day, the 3 people who you look up to, you admire, you respect, you want to learn from, you want to emulate pieces of them and make that an evolved version of you, you need to be around it every single day for the next 254 days. You do that, your life will change.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of actually following through on your goals. That's not good enough. No, not for you, Believe Nation. We got to do something. But when you write it down and you create a specific plan of action for the next week, that number jumps to 91% chance of you following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like leaving a comment on this video, it jumps to 95%. You need to follow through on your goals. So what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your specific plan of action for the next week? Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
The easiest way to win is to do work that you love. Making a new video is easy for me. I've done 6,000 plus videos. I still love them. I still enjoy it. But there is a chandelier sitting in the trunk of my car right now that I have no interest in installing. I have no idea how to install a light. I have no interest in learning how to install a light. And so I've asked my friend Mark Drager from Fanta to come and help install the light for me. If you're doing a business that you don't know and that you don't love and you think it's just going to be easy money, newsflash, it's never just easy money. You are going to lose. You have to go through what I call the blinders test. Now, blinders are things that people put on horses. So there's those black patches that they put here on the side of the horse so that the horse doesn't get distracted. So the horse isn't like going all over like this. All they can see is what's in front of them, and it forces them to just focus and go in front of them. Now, side note, apparently they actually have this for humans too, and some tech companies are using them where they have blinders for humans. That seems a little crazy to me, but listen, if blinders help you focus, then by all means, go for it. But you need to pass the blinders test. So what is the blinders test? For me, there's moments in time where you have absolute clarity for what you need to do, where you know where you want to go, where you have direction and purpose, and this is the window that you need to jump through. For me right now, it's YouTube. Yes, I've been on the platform for over 10 years, but this is a special moment in time for YouTube right now, for Evan Carmichael plus YouTube right now. I'm hitting it on strides. We've got, I don't know how many channels right now, a lot, too many maybe, but I want to have 100 channels. This is a moment in time. YouTube's not going to be around forever, and it's going to morph and it's going to become something else, and I'm going to have different interests at some point. This is the moment of time that you need to then push hard. I see opportunities as windows. There's this window that's in front of you right now, and the window's open, but it's not going to be open forever. At some point, that window of opportunity is going to shut. And that's when people look back and say, I could have done it, and that other person, they made so much money off of my idea. It wasn't your idea, they did it. The only difference between you and the people who are winning is they started, they did it, they take action every single day. There's no reason why that person can't be you. You have to jump through the window with full force and put your blinders on and stop thinking about everything else that's around you. That's if you have absolute clarity and direction. Now, there'll be other moments in your life, and I think life moves like this. I think you'll have moments in life where you have absolute clarity and purpose and direction. And there'll be other moments where you're not so sure what to do. And then you have to open up the funnel again. Sticking to the blinders when you don't know what you're doing is not a great strategy. This happens to a lot of entrepreneurs where they have focus for their business, but then they lose interest in their business. And then they bought themselves a job and they're too afraid to get out of that business because of what it means, because of the opportunity cost, because of everything that they've sunk into the business, because people might say, well, what a failure if they close now. And they should have been out of their business 3 years ago, but they're still going. Don't let that be you. You're never gonna win doing work that you hate. If you don't like your business anymore, you need to adjust it or you need to move on, dump it, and move on to something else. If I stop liking videos, I will just decide no more videos happening. Sorry guys, maybe sell it to somebody else or just stop, because I'm not gonna win doing work that I hate either. And so if you feel your foot kind of pulling out of the water, while you still have some interest, move on to the next thing. And so when you know what you wanna do, you're focused, hyper-focused, that's all you're doing. When you don't know what you wanna do, you open up the scope. And that's okay. And I think everybody will go through these phases in life. You will have absolute clarity, and so you need to go off and do instead of finding all the reasons why you can't do. And when you don't know what you want to do, don't stress out and worry that you don't know what you want to do. Try a bunch of stuff. Say yes to everything. Pay attention to the feeling. The most important thing when you're trying something new is, do you love the process of it? Not, is this going to be your next big opportunity? Did you love the process? Even though you sucked doing it. I sucked making my first video. I love the process. I sucked when I first learned salsa dancing. I love the process. You're supposed to suck at the start. That's okay. You don't need to get instant results. If you love the process, you will win. If you got instant results, but you don't love it, you're never going to win. It's just never going to happen. You're not going to win. And so, depending where you are on this spectrum, of absolute clarity to having no idea, dictates what your action should be. When you know what you need to do, stop making excuses, stop having justifications, and just go off and do the damn thing. And if you don't know what you want to do, then explore. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop complaining. It's okay. Explore. You will find the thing that then you can focus on until the next time you expand it.
If you want to learn the things you need to start practicing or you will lose, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
It's just been a testament to consistency. Every single day, videos have to go live on the channel. And I've filmed through everything. I've filmed through having broken my neck,